This is the NEC PF28WT105 28-inch widescreen pure flat CRT TV. There is the on-off switch. The front panel is missing, the cover that flips down, so you can already see there's an S-video socket, AB3, power indicator light, and then there's the buttons: program up, down, volume up, down, change from AV back to regular TV. It's already got the mark of death, mark of the beast, widescreen 100Hz. The 100Hz is the problem there, that's the issue. It's going to contain that image processing, virtual Dolby surround, and NEC's what they call their Chroma Vision Flat. Not a lot of information I could find on this model. Did a search on Google, not a lot turned up. I don't know the year, but we might be able to work out that when we open. Here is the remote, presumably the matching remote. It does work, NEC RD-D10, sorry, NEC RD-D110. Again, it's 28 inches in size, and it certainly is 100Hz. I can tell by the snow. You can often tell by the snow, just there's a feel or a look to it, a smooth sort of a style to it. Anyway, we'll go around the back. Obviously there needs to be an attraction on the TV of some sort, otherwise I wouldn't film it. Around the back here we can see the sticker on the back, NEC, the model number again, PF pure flat 28 for the size of the tube, W for widescreen, made in Korea, NEC Australia. It's a proper Australian unit. Now I'll tilt the television forward a bit to get to the back, and as you can see there's an antenna socket, AV1 with the composite video input, and then the Scart, of course. The only reason for the television being here on this video is for that Scart. We want to see if it can do RGB or component. We already know it can do it. Well, it does 100Hz, unfortunately, but we'll see. We'll put it through its measures when we turn it on, but firstly I'll take the back cover off and we'll have a look inside. Pretty basic setup on the back here. A speaker on each side of the television. The tube, no real surprise. LG Philips widescreen, 66 centimeters, made in Korea. The neck board is pretty small, tiny little neck board, and even the chassis is pretty small as well. I can pull that out right now, so there's a better look at the chassis there. Look at that on there, it's even got Australia on the chassis, designated specifically for this area. There's our Scart on the right there, and then there's the other, let's call it a fake Scart, or it can certainly take a proper Scart socket. You can see on the PCB all the holes there. You could put a 21 pin Scart socket in there, maybe you could tap into RGB that way, but we need to turn this on again and really test to see what will come through that Scart socket and see if there's anything, see if there's RGB or S-video or component, because it's not looking good for the TV in my opinion already without 100Hz processing. Let's proceed. Now I've got the Super Nintendo plugged in via S-video, and I'll change the channel. It's in the front there at the bottom of the television. So this is AV3, but it's the extra step. You've got to switch it again to get to the S-video AV3. I've already tested it in composite video via the Super Nintendo, and now with S-video the picture is certainly better, as expected. It is more colourful and a little bit more brighter, colourful, a bit more pop. Now as far as any artifacts are concerned, or any 100Hz shenanigans, just before I go on I will zoom, I'll get that to 4:3. Now it does appear to have the look of an interlaced picture. That PAL Super Nintendo is basically outputting 288p, yet in a sense we've got 576i with that interlace effect. You can see it jittering up and down, just a little bit flickering away, so that's a symptom of that 100 Hz processing, and it's been a while since I've played this game or even looked at a lot of monitors, but I can tell also that the scrolling of the game is somewhat choppy. It's not smooth like a regular 50 or 60 Hz CRT is. So even though 100 Hz processing is meant to make things smoother, it actually, in a sense, makes it jerkier. It may reduce flickering, but my eye can't see flicker at 50 or 60 Hz anyway. So we'll go on to the Scart next. I actually want to first test if the Scart can accept S-Video, and then we'll go on to RGB after that. So I'm going to use this S-Video to Scart connector plug to plug the Super Nintendo into the back of the television into the Scart socket and see if it will display S-Video in the back Scart. Okay, Super Nintendo is plugged into the back via S-Video, and I'm switching through the channels. There we are on AV2. You can see the colours are all mucked up. So I will say that that back Scart does not accept S-Video. We'll test it for RGB now. The Super Nintendo is now plugged in with a Scart cable into that vacant back Scart socket, and I'll flick the channel over. So we get picture, but you can't assume automatically that it is in RGB, and in fact I reckon it's back in composite video. The picture is a little bit lower quality than what the S-Video was. I'll do another test. I'll connect to PlayStation also with a Scart cable and see what it does, just to add some more weight to the argument that it probably doesn't support RGB. There's no switch, there's no menu option to change into RGB. So I'll connect the PlayStation now to find out. PlayStation on with Scart cable. You can see the dot crawl visible on the edges of the symbol there. That does not happen in RGB, so again, console, well, the TV more to the point, is not displaying in RGB. Even if it were, we're still not getting scan lines. We're getting 100 Hz artifacts. So I have to deem the set not capable of not displaying RGB. So in conclusion, the TV has no real use. It doesn't display RGB, it has 100 Hz. However, I would like to thank Lance, who donated the TV to me. Lance is a fellow CRT enthusiast and just wanted to clear out some room and gave me a few televisions, including this one, and I appreciate it. If it's a CRT TV with a Scart and I haven't had it already, more than happy to take it. So if anyone in the Melbourne or Eastern region or Victoria area has any CRTs with Scarts in them, I'm certainly open to the possibility of picking them up. That concludes the video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. I know I haven't been putting many up, but there are more to come. Thank you, and see you in the next video.